Hi Aries, and welcome to your reading. Okay, let's see what Spirit has for you. What does Aries need to know? What does Aries? We flipped over as well. One moment, let me see if anything else comes out for you, Aries. What? Okay then. Yeah, that was it. Let's see. Not it. Not it. Take this. Wait. Current energy or present moment. Okay, this one's current. Side. No, that was me. I'm putting the cards in the deck upside down again. Yeah. I'll fix that afterwards. Let's see. What's the last few cards for Aries? Look. Add it. Main or side message? Okay. Let's see what we have for you, Aries. We have, okay, Ace of Air, Heaven and Earth, Nine of Water, Healing, the Father, Thought, Ace of Fire, and the Queen of Water. Yeah. So your current energy, you have the Ace of Air. Either you are having brand new ideas or changes the way you're currently thinking. I'm hearing you're challenging the status quo. Not everybody has to think the same. You're a free thinker, thinking for yourself and acting on your ideas. More so in the sense of, instead of keeping your thoughts, opinions, and I'm also hearing beliefs to yourself, you may be starting to be more vocal about what it is you truly think. I'm also hearing your understanding of the consequences of the decisions that you make. So for some of you, by going against what is considered the norm when it comes to beliefs or the way of thinking, it can be, I don't want to say considered a threat, but maybe threatening to others because you're the only one moving differently. And I'm also hearing this has been for years, decades. And to challenge it now is outrageous. So this may not apply to all of you, but it can apply to some of you if you are religious and you are and changing denominations, like going from, I don't know, for some of you it's not that big of a drastic change, Christian to Catholic to Protestant. If I remember correctly, there are different sects when it comes to Islam as well. So if you're changing and either breathing a change in your religion, moving to a different sect, or leaving religion entirely and either becoming agnostic, atheist, or spiritual, like, again, that only applies for if you're experiencing a change with your current religion. For the vast majority of you, it's more so in your change of thinking, like how everybody around you usually typically agrees on the same thing, but you're starting to have a difference of opinion, and it's rubbing some people the wrong kind of way type thing. For your surrounding energy, you have heaven and earth. This is a little bit odd. The energy of this coming off this card is a little bit contradicting. You're falling out of alignment with the energy in your current environment. However, you're coming into more alignment with the energy around you. And like I said, it is contradicting itself in a sense. You may be falling out of alignment with the people that you surround yourself with in your social group. If you're used to going to familiar places, those may be falling away as well, as you no longer feel comfortable in those spaces or safe to share your opinion or your beliefs. Now that you have a new perspective, but you're coming into alignment I'm hearing you're starting to come into alignment with the energy around you in the sense of you're questioning everything. So maybe referring more to universal, because you're starting to question everything. You look for meaning in things that you do, and searching for understanding on a deeper level, not just knowledge base, but you're looking at situations and problems from every angle, not just through a tunnel lens. So you're no longer seeing things in one way or having tunnel vision. You're actually seeing all aspects of a situation or a conversation. Possibly even if someone was to debate with you, you'd actually tackle both sides with why you're for and why you're against it. Even though you already have a favored position in the conversation, you can actually find a way to agree and disagree with both sides. For your strength, I'm hearing you're listening to your higher self. For those of you who may not be spiritual or identify with spirituality or even with religion, it's more of you're going with your gut instinct. You're not being influenced by the people or places around you. You are listening to that gut intuition. If it's right for you, then you're going to follow it. If you feel like something's off, or you shouldn't go down a certain path, you're not going to do it. You're just going to you're gonna find a new way to go. So yeah, you're listening to your gut instinct more and moving based off how you feel about a situation. Just because others are doing it doesn't mean you have to do it as well. If it's not right for you, it's not meant for you to say or do. It's okay not to be part of the pact, and you're coming to terms with that. As Aries, y'all are the first fire sign in the zodiac. Y'all are cardinal signs, so it's only natural that y'all would be considered the leader, so, and not following along with other people. I don't know. In your present moment, you have healing. I'm hearing you started this energy. I'm hearing that you started this energy a long time ago, and you're now reaching its end. So for some of you, because we're always going through changes, there's always something to learn from. There's always something that we're healing and growing from. But Aries, in your case, something that you've been healing from for a long time you're finally reached the end stage of the healing journey for what you've been working through. And that's most likely why you're no longer resonating with what's familiar, what used to be comfortable with you. As you heal through past trauma, the maladaptive behaviors you developed, your toxic way of thinking, those are falling to the wayside because you no longer need those I'm hearing you no longer need those defense mechanisms. You're embracing the changes you've made from a bad situation. It is what it is. You've healed from it, you've grown from it. I'm also hearing you stop projecting your past issues. So any issues you developed from this past trauma, you stop projecting it onto others. The best way I can explain is when you stop projecting, you can start recognizing the bullshit in other people that they're projecting on you. Now that you're no longer projecting in the same way, you can actually spot it in others and like, oh, okay. And understand that's what you used to do, but now that you're not projecting anymore, you're actually seeing the truth of the situation or at peace with the situation. You're catching the bullshit. You're seeing the bullshit in other people. Yeah. This is not it. This is not the place to be. So I don't know, your healing is probably why you're moving away from what used to be comfortable for you. Based on the current energy that has come up for you, there are 3 possible choices or courses of action you can take based on the current energy. The first one being the father. And the father, in a sense, is the head of the household. He is the leader, he is the structure, he is the foundation, he is the one that provides boundaries and sets an example. I'm hearing for not only the children, but for the family as a whole, meaning he sets the expectations. The spouse enforces it. The children follow it. That's not to say that he doesn't enforce it himself. It's just that he sets the rules, the wife and the spouse, and enforces the rules that he sets. So that may be what you're doing, because like I said, being that you're starting to go against the status quo, having your own having a change or a difference in opinions, and not falling behind the pack anymore. I'm hearing for correction, because for some of you, Spirit is saying you never have been. You're the one who starts everything, and now you. I don't know, whatever you're changing away from, Spirit, though, if you're correcting it, because it didn't. You was the one who most likely started it, but now that you're going through a change and growing and healing, you're moving away from what you started, which is probably why it's causing confusion and ruffling some feathers, because you're the one who started it. But you're leading people down a new path is what I'm hearing with this one. This is the way I am. This is what it's going to be. You're setting a new example. For some of you, it's going to be quick to take. For others, it's going to be slow going. I'm also hearing creating better boundaries and working within your limits. Now, that in particular applies to the people who are more so around you, whereas you're creating boundaries for what you will and will not accept, behavior-wise anyway. For those of you who already did have boundaries in the way you want to be treated, it's coming across as you're doing it in more of a healthy way, like you're explaining yourself more of what is, don't talk to me like that, don't look at me like that, don't treat me like that, that's not how I want to be treated. And you're explaining yourself and setting your boundaries more in a healthy way. I'm hearing, instead of an explosive anger. Alright, the second path or course of action, you have thought. Your thought influences your behavior. Your behavior the behavior reinforces the thought process. It's weird how this energy is coming off, because what Spirit is showing me is more of you're thinking a specific way, which is influencing your behavior. It's not your behavior, it's the behavior or so the reaction of others that are reinforcing your way of thinking. But with thought being here, it's like you're breaking the change, creating a new thought process. So yeah, with this, you're trying to create a new thought cycle that influences your behavior, not just your behavior, but the behavior of people around you. Okay, with this one too, you may be expecting a quick change though, because I'm hearing fall in line or fall out of place. So whoever's not with you, who's ever not willing to align with you, I do feel like you're going to be cutting a few people off. because you are changing the way you think, and by doing so, you're working on changing your behavior. And even though your behavior has changed, it's throwing some people off around you, or you're still getting the same reaction that you used to get based on how you used to think and how you used to behave. And those who can't adjust to your new behavior and your new thoughts, I'm hearing they're losing their seat at the table. Okay. And then for your last choice or course of action, you have the Ace of Fire. New motivation, inspiration, creative ideas, ingenuity. I gotta look that word up again. I'm hearing, cause I don't like I'm saying words, but that I'm not clear on their meaning. Wait, one moment. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to look it up real quick. Ingenuity, the quality of being clever, original, and inventive. So for some of you, changing perspectives to new ideas to new invention. Either some of y'all may be making something or planning to make something new. I'm hearing something that's unheard of, unique. Slightly controversial, but of a great benefit. So you may be physically making something with the help of others. You could be starting a new trend, or this could actually involve you I'm hearing for some of you, select few, this could actually involve you being more vocal about your personal opinion. Yeah, having your own platform where you're spreading your ideas, your reasoning behind your logic, your motivation for why you're speaking out on this particular subject. I can't say it's going to be Yeah, you know what? I can't wait to clarify this because, let's see. And lastly, what you can expect in the following weeks, you have the Queen of Water. Someone who's highly intelligent, intuitive, and plays off their emotions. Now, that's not in a negative way. It's more of you use your emotional state as fuel for what it is you're saying or doing. If you feel angry about something, you turn that anger into passion, and it's the driving force behind what it is you're saying or doing. If something excites you, make you happy, you use that as a driving force to push through the pain or the frustrating times or any complicated issues. Like you and I'm hearing in your case, that's a good way to be compared to how you used to let your emotions run the show and dictate your course of action, but now you're making your emotions work for you. In what you say and how you do things, how hard you're willing to go for the things that you care about. I'm also hearing that you're wise in your years, using your emotional intelligence to pick out the stories you're being told and understand when people are projecting onto you and knowing not to take their issues to heart. So yeah, with the healing and change you've went through, it bolstered your emotional intelligence. So now you recognize when people are like the people that may be speaking out against you, that they're just projecting their pain and their issues that are coming up based on what you're saying or doing, that they're projecting their feelings onto you because you're making them uncomfortable. You're recognizing it's not you, it's them. And you're not letting their issues affect you. Okay. Took a little longer than expected, but you know what? Let's clarify. Let's clarify for Aries, please. Let's clarify for Aries. Wait, this goes where? Don't like to do it like that, but wait. Okay, yeah, I did have it right. Wait. Wait. Oh, side method. This goes. Where? This should be interesting. Yeah, for Ace of Air, you have spiritual union. 9 of Water, rest and rejuvenate. Healing, you have fertility. The Father, the waiting game. Thought, prosperity begins. Ace of Fire, solitude. Okay, Aries. So for the Ace of Air, clarified by spiritual union. This can mean different things. Now again, it doesn't matter if you identify as spiritual or not, but with your change in ideology, with your change in thinking, with your change in perspective, it's bringing you more in alignment with your higher power, whether that be God, Allah, Yahweh, spirit. However you identify your higher power, you are coming into more alignment mentally, emotionally, and on a spiritual level. And again, you don't have to be spiritual to feel your higher source's energy and know when you're being spoken to and know when you're being guided. You may be hearing more clearer than ever before, and also feeling their presence more than you have been in the past. Now that you've grown past this pain, and understanding things on a deeper level than you ever have been. Now, again, that could be on a certain situation, on a certain thought, or just when it comes to life as you know it in general. With the 9 of Water being clarified by rest and rejuvenation. Alright, this mental card, and I'm hearing it's time to take a pause. Pause on society and your interaction with it. getting back to your true self, understand your way of thinking, how it's influenced others in your past actions. I'm hearing this is a time of self-reflection. But it's strange, not too deeply. Sometimes less is more. The less you focus on a specific idea, the faster the answers come to you. Sometimes you can hear the truth of the matter in unexpected ways. So yeah, you may have been focusing on something a little bit too hard. Although it's your strength that you've been moving away from what is expected to be the norm and following your own gut feeling, gut instinct, you may have been applying it to something specific, and you're being advised not to try so hard. Instead of looking for the answer, let it come to you. Take a mental break. Relax yourself, because the answer is not going to come overnight. It can come in days, weeks, even months, but you will be receiving piece by piece information on what it is you need to know and your next steps forward. Listen to your gut, it won't lead you astray. It'll help you find your way along your path. But until you have the next piece of the puzzle, rest, sleep, eat, take care of yourself in a proper manner. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for this. So you may have been pushing yourself a little bit too hard, or if you're being met with resistance for why you're trusting yourself more and moving away from what either a trend you started or what others believe. You don't need to fight so hard. You don't need to push so hard to the point where it's stressing you out. Take a break when needed. Don't fight so hard so if you just fight to yourself for others. The answers will come when they are meant to. But yeah, that's basically the gist of what I'm getting for you with rest and rejuvenation. Next you have healing clarified by fertility. With a cleared mind comes brand new ideas. Your healing has set a fertile ground for new inspiration, new hope, and new life to begin. Now, fertility can mean different things. It doesn't always I'm hearing it doesn't always mean childbearing. In this case, it's more of your past trauma has created dry land where nothing can grow, nothing can take root. But as you're healing, you're revitalizing your health and your mind along with it, making it more suitable for brand new ideas and changes. You're planting the seed of hope and inspiration, and also one for optimism. Yeah, so this healing, in a sense, is bringing you back to life in more ways than one. Hope that wasn't there before, you're starting to have again. Possibilities you didn't think of before are new inspirations for you. Now, with the Father card, and for a choice or course of action, you have the waiting game. And I believe I did say it when I first picked up this card. For some of you, it'll be a fast change with someone being with others becoming more accustomed to the changes you've made and following the example you set. Whereas others, I'm hearing a vast majority of you, it's a waiting game, more of you're not going to wait for a whole eternity for someone to help you change and adapt to a new version of you. It's more of you're waiting, watching and seeing who's growing, who's developing, how slow or fast their progress is. You're not rushing them along the path, you're allowing them to move at their own pace. I'm hearing don't allow yourself to grow impatient. Change comes with time. You can't tell a seed when to grow. You can't tell a plant where they should be. How Spirit is so weird with this one. You can't tell a plant how many leaves to have, how many petals to grow when you're growing a rose. It's all in due time. That's why some bud faster than others. But one way or another, you will be surrounded by a beautiful garden of budding roses. Some will wilt and some will and die off, but those will be very few. The majority of your garden will have life. Okay, so yeah, for the people that you're expecting to change and grow with you or grow alongside you, like following the example that you've set for them, there will be a few that are going to fall away, but even if some are taking a longer time than others, at some point they will catch up and they will see the brighter path that you're setting them upon. Just to be clear, because Spirit is also saying it, for those that give you resistance, they too will follow along. Not all of them will fall away and be left in the past. For your second course of action or choice, thought is being clarified by prosperity begins. This is a card of action, and I don't know, it's starting off with some of you may have been held back from a prosperous future. There's always someone you gotta take care of, look out for, provide for, help along the way with their poor misdeeds. I'm hearing irresponsible behavior. Irresponsible thought leads to irresponsible actions. And you're wondering why you're always coming from a place of lack. But that's not for you. That's for someone that's around you. And as I said with thought, there's some that can't sit with you that will no longer be at your table. So there may have been someone around you that's been draining your resources, and actually quite possibly may have been the motivation for why you changed your thought process and in turn your behavior. Because I'm hearing once you cut the dead weight, your fortunes will rise. You'll realize that you're more prosperous than you thought, that your tree does bear fruit. You just haven't seen it before because someone else was taking from it. And you haven't been reaping the full harvest. So yeah, someone may have been depleting you, taking away from what's meant to be yours. And one of those people will be falling off to the wayside the moment you start changing your thoughts and behavior. And you'll see that you have more than you initially thought. I'm also hearing that you'll be allowed to gain more. So they may have been holding you back from being able to do something, or using your time in a different way than how you are even. And lastly, with the Ace of Fire, course of action or option that you'd be taking is clarified by solitude. So for those of you who resonate with this path, you may be moving alone. That's not to say that you lack friends or won't have anybody walking beside you. It's more so a journey that you will take alone. Although people understand why it is you're doing what you're doing or saying what needs to be said, it's kind of like you're a one-man show that at the end of the day you stand alone with what it is you're saying or what it is you're doing. You have people behind you that do support you, but they're not going to speak up with you. Whatever you're about to be the face of, now again, this doesn't have to be publicly. It could be in your social group, in your family, at work. Whatever you're about to set your mind to and be the face of, I'm hearing you're doing it by yourself. So be prepared to stand alone and stand on your own 2 feet. Although you have support to lean on, they can't prop you up forever. You have to do the work and develop your own voice. Is basically what I'm hearing. So it's more of giving you a little deeper insight as to what's to come if you are to speak up about something. And giving you advice on what you need to prepare yourself for. But anyways, Aries, that is what I have for you. I do hope you enjoyed this reading. And if you did, please do hit the like and subscribe button as there will be more videos to come. So see you in the next one. Bye, Aries.